There's a new book out called The Handmaid's Tale, also a movie and a Hulu series. That is a television series that was produced, and it is now airing as of April 26th. I think it's the third or fourth episode thus far. But it's a shocking story and meant for the persecution of Christians. As you read the book, it's incredibly twisted. My wife read a little bit of it. Apparently it wound up on her little reader, and so she says it's very twisted. Evidently, the author herself or himself was incredibly twisted. And basically, the thrust of the story is that pro-life, anti-contraceptive Christians are going to be equated to rapists. And that's what happens.
Wow.
That is, they create a straw man.
Mm-hmm.
They create a gigantic caricature of a biblical Christian, and then they turn them into rapists. So this kind of thing is propaganda. It's just pure and simple propaganda. This is the kind of thing that happened with the Jews in the 1930s. The German media found a way in which they could characterize the Jews in certain ways, and the populace generally turned against them and increasingly supported the Nazi regime. And it happened largely through media. And I think we need to remember that media is extremely powerful and it has influence on people. And the average person probably doesn't think critically. They're not checking out what Leviticus really said or what Deuteronomy really said.
Yeah.
They're just happy to receive whatever the recent Hulu producer is giving them. And they're taking sides. And the side they take is going to be against any Christian who's pro-life or anti-contraceptive.
Right.
That's what happens as a result of this kind of propaganda. It's not that difficult to get the mob moving in the right direction or the wrong direction, as the case may be. So I think what happens with this kind of series is that it's going to turn the masses against Christians. It's the Rwanda thing. It's the German thing.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the Rwanda media increasingly turned one of the racial groups against the other racial group in the Rwanda genocide that occurred, about 10 years ago. Well, that is the kind of thing that's happened throughout history. We saw it happening in Germany. We saw it happening in Rwanda. Now, I guess the question is, could it happen in the United States of America? Or are we completely immune from any of these particular things? I don't think we are. I think the influences of Hollywood, the influences of these powerful producers can turn the masses more and more against biblical Christians.